Oh, welcome.
Welcome to Satsang.
So the title for today's Satsang is peace boring? How is it?
Why does the mind avoid the truth of yourself? Your true nature.
And it might be familiar to you how the mind tends to avoid boredom and boring things. And especially, it can find peace boring. It can find truth boring. Because the mind is always looking for something happening. Even if it is like, maybe you come to satsang and you want to learn something. And maybe you feel that you don't get anything. And you find it boring. Because even, when you have an insight, when you learn, it brings dopamine to you. And the brain, they are physically like used to having these impulses, and we want something happening. The mind wants juiciness. And peace is who you are. Peace is this stillness.
Stillness in a way of there is nothing moving. There is no movement. And this can be experienced as boring. I mean, one of the most asked questions in satsang is, what can I do to keep this experience, to reach this or that level? So there's always the urge for, I want to do something. I need a tool. And there is nothing to do. Don't do anything. Make a total stop is somehow totally against any method, any way we learned to develop. So it can also be frightening. And fear can be avoided by it's boring. There is nothing to do. There's nothing happening.
And it's just the imagination of the mind that nothing is happening and it's boring. Because if you really stop and you really experience yourself as peace, this is bliss. This is alive. This is fresh. And we have this imagination of peace as something which is then passive and will not act.
Or maybe even the fear arises, I will not be able to act anymore. This state will take away the power of being active. Can come up. Where actually it's totally the other way around. True action can happen. Finally.
This peace, who you are, is always here. That's what we all have to realize. This peace is untouched by anything that is happening. It's even untouched by your fearful state, anxiety, or anger, or sadness. It is all actually embraced by this peace. It is in peace. It is in you, appearing. Everything.
So the true self is actually untouched by any physical or emotional state or mental state you're in. No matter if the state is blissful or is painful. Peace, the truth of yourself, is untouched by it.
And it's very useful to hear this again and again. Again, you can resonate with it, since this is the truth, this is your true self, and you are resonating with it. And at the same time, all these states, the sadness, the fear, the anxiety, or this boredom, is like a jumping board to recognize yourself as peace even more. So it's not like bypassing these states. It is to welcome them, whatever is here. This is inquiry. So first there is the so-called mindfulness, what you have to do. And mindfulness means actually in psychology, I'm not just talking about mindfulness meditation, but in psychology, mindfulness means that it's an undistracted time where you mindfully watch or hear your thoughts. You watch yourself, what is happening. That's the first step. So you can recognize there is sadness here. Or in your case, if you find peace boring now, there is boredom here. Or fear is here. Whatever. That's the first step. You are being honest. You can even write it down. This is always helpful, especially for mentally active people. And in that, then you go further into inquiry, which is really going into the depth of this state, emotional state, welcoming it, becoming one with it. And always, emotions are nested. So when there is one emotion, like anger, that's a very surface emotion. Usually under anger, there is sadness. And then if you again welcome that, under sadness, there is fear. And then underneath, there is a deep despair, which is this egoic helplessness, when the ego recognizes itself as not true, as not existing, and there is a despair. And if you are willing to go through this or into the depth of this, then you recognize yourself as that peace or stillness or joy, which is underneath everything, which is the ground, the substratum, everything right now. It's always here. It's yourself. It's ourself. And then you recognize non-duality, that there are no two. There is this presence, empty, peaceful. And then you rest in that. You rest in this peace. I mean, you will rest in peace when you die. You know, that's what we say. May he or she rest in peace. But as our teacher and our teacher's teacher, Papaji, said, don't wait until your death. Rest in peace now. It will all be lost at the time of death, the whole story.
So why not losing it right now? Anyway, it's just a story. You tell yourself.
And by losing it, we mean that you rest in this peace that you already recognized, that is calling you. And then you can feel that all these temptations come up. You know, the mind would say, what? Is that it? That's boring. And then you...
Cannot be everything. Must be something to do here. Something to work on, to fix, to change.
It cannot be that simple. What are you talking about? Oh my God. I go somewhere else. I have to learn something about my, I don't know, psychological states, which is also useful, but this is the absolute.
But still, but since you are already peace itself, there is nothing you can learn about it. You are it already. So we only can unlearn believing in the story of the mind, following the thoughts, putting our attention to where the action is. This is the challenge. Stop following the mainstream. Stop everything for a moment. Realize this, what you're longing for, is already here, is already what you are. And then it's everything else than boring. Actually, it's the biggest adventure of everything. To live a true life, embedded in the self and the power of your true nature. Where true action arises. Without being afraid. Oh, how will this one or that one interpret my action? How will they judge me? Will they still like me? Will they still be my friends?
Because you realize in peace that you don't need anything and anyone. because you are fulfilled. You are whole.
The need for a certain place in society, certain safetyness, power, whatever, comes from the misidentification, comes from overlooking your true self. Since you overlook your true self, you have this feeling that there is something missing. And this missing part has to be fulfilled with something from the outside. You get out there, and therefore you have to act in a certain way, behave in a certain way, play a certain role. It's just a story the mind creates. This is a challenge, to question this story, to look beyond, to look deeper.
It's a challenge and it's your responsibility. To make this choice. And you heard the truth and you recognized even the truth that it is a story, what you are telling yourself, or whatever state you are in. Memories, hate, all kinds of traumas, whatever. They can be healed in the moment. And you take responsibility and you choose peace. That's already enough when you are from your whole being and heart. You want peace, you want truth. And you are crying out to the universe or to a teacher, whoever. I choose this peace. And you will get all the support and all the help to withstand these challenges. Because the mind, as we said, it comes back with challenges, and it can be so powerful challenges, and this in subtle ways it can come back. Like, for example, with this boredom. That's not a too bad emotion, you know, it just comes, oh, it's boring. But it's just a subtle way, because if you really question then, and you ask, is peace really boring? Or am I trying to avoid something? Am I trying to avoid my fear of being nobody? Am I trying to avoid my fear of bliss and happiness? Because there is a fear of bliss and happiness from the personal perspective. Because how dare I be happy and free and peaceful when there is so much war going on and so much is out there and people are suffering? And how could I be happy? Because you are experiencing in that moment of peace yourself, your true nature, bliss and happiness. And immediately, if the boring doesn't come up, what comes up, it's you are not allowed to do this. They will not like you if you are just happy here. And if you are shining out light and happiness. Because people want that you suffer with them. But then you can also ask yourself the question, we can all ask, like, is my unhappiness will help them? I don't think so.
Or does it actually add suffering to the collective suffering? It's a question of how we focus the mind, where we put our attention.
And you are responsible for this.
No one else.
It's your responsibility. That's why it's not a casual affair. Especially when you heard the truth, when you have this longing for the truth. It's really your responsibility to make this choice, to stay true to peace. If the mind comes, it's boring, it's this and that, you just ignore it. I stay here as peace. And then peace will take you even more. Peace leaves you alive. Stillness, love,
Freedom.
leaves this life.
However you might call it.
And that's what everyone wants. Because then at this point, or where you are, at this local point, that there is already Mother Earth is freed from suffering. There is like this lightness, the veil is lifted. The story, whatever is in your mind and what you bring with you, that's a kind of an energy, like a veil over truth, over light. And that's lifted as you come out of this illusionary veil, come out of it. You are light. There is so much energy, freed by that. Just by making the choice to be peace. And you do this for everyone. As Ramana Maharshi said that when they asked him how we can help others, the best help you can give is to be true to yourself, to realize yourself, who you are. So stop avoiding your true self. And that's your responsibility. We can all do this. Ramana could do it, if Papaji could do it, if Gangaji, she's a normal person, and many, many. It's spreading all over the world. And it's our responsibility to be happy, to be joyful. Stay here, light. That feels so good. You can already feel it even in your body. Everything is lifted. Light, no boundaries. There is a deep resting in this. So like a balm.
Finally coming home.
Being here is home. Just this. Just this moment. You have this longing to help the world, to help, to bring happiness everywhere, and be happy. Be the example. And this happiness is not ignorant. This happiness doesn't need to suppress what is being seen in this world. It's painful, but you feel the pain, feel the sadness, even in our families. Oh God, there is so much pain and people are stuck. It's causing other people suffer in the family.
Projecting things on other people.
Yeah.
But this is just a story. Don't get stuck there. Don't believe it. That's who you are. You can feel the pain, but you know that's not who you are. You can shine through.
You come back to stillness. You are quiet. It's a precious life.
And it's your life. Let's use it well.
Never mind. But how? It wants to know, it wants to, count the future, how it will be. And then just try not to follow it. Stay here. Stay here. Come back to this moment. The real inspiration is really in this moment, as not knowing that there is an energy which is bubbling up, which is here. And then you follow that. You follow that. And then it shows itself how it will be. May there be peace. Among all beings of the universe.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
And we welcome you. Always welcome you to our meetings. Don't forget to subscribe and just look always at the description what our next program is, and you can join these meetings live.
So you can ask questions and meet us directly.
So we can support each other. There is enough challenges in the world, so let's support each other to be true to peace. Be here as peace. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.